Welcome back to Wealthy Show number 13. We've got some great stuff to go over, such as gluten intolerance, why I gave it up, how I gave it up for 5 years. We're going to talk about foods for skin health and how skin is kind of the great indicator for your gut microbiome. And we're going to talk about what shoes to wear, the proper shoes to wear in order to avoid injury, shin splints, Achilles pain, things like that. So,
welcome to the circle, it's the winning team.
So here we go. This first segment is about how I gave up gluten. It wasn't really an option for me. It was forced upon me due to my gut health issues. But once I did that, it was it's a great experience. Like, again, I can't actually eat it. So a lot of bad stuff happens to me. But for a lot of people that have gut distress, have gut issues, giving up gluten is kind of a great option for you to improve your gut health. So let's get into it. I gave up gluten for 5 years. Here's what I found. I have stopped eating gluten for 5 years, and you can too. But be prepared, because you know what they say. Once you go gluten-free, you won't go back. When I first identified my gluten intolerance due to my ulcerative colitis, I did not want to believe it. My allergy test said I was clear of gluten allergies, so why should I be forced to give it up? The doctor said diet had nothing to do with my UC, so I should be good, right? A few weeks after finding out about my gluten intolerance, I tested this theory while I was out in New York. Because when in New York, one has to eat pizza. And let me tell you, boy, was that pizza G-O-O-D good. It only took about 3 hours before my gluten denial came back to bite me in the gut. Yuck, that was not a fun night. Next came anger. It's pretty clear gluten is a no-go. But why does it have to be me? Quite frankly, this is bull.
Why me? Georgia?
Why me, Lord?
Lord, dear Lord, why me?
Another lesson I had to learn the hard way. You cannot cheat gluten-free. Once the anger was gone, I became depressed. It was holiday season, and one of the best parts is eating until you can't eat anymore. I thought I had to give up so many foods that I no longer wanted to participate in any holidays. Christmas is canceled. After a few months of fighting with my gluten intolerance, it became clear. Feeling sorry for myself would do no good. With the help of a loving family who made gluten-free options for each and every type of food, and finding gluten-free pizzerias, bakeries, and markets that contain a lot of gluten-free options, gluten-free became a way of life. It became a part of my identity. After more than 5 years of being gluten-free, I no longer want to go back even if I could. No more bloating, no more brain fog, no more back pain, which are all symptoms of consuming gluten. In addition to those basic symptoms, you're gonna have digestive problems. These can include abdominal pain, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, and nausea. Some signs of gluten intolerance may show up as skin issues. Some people with gluten intolerance may develop skin rashes, including eczema and dermatitis. Headaches are a common sign that you are not digesting gluten as well as you think you do. Reoccurring migraines are common in individuals with gluten intolerance. And I get it, going gluten-free is not for everyone. Sometimes our taste buds can override what we know is not good for us. However, if you are curious as to the effects gluten has on your body, I suggest trying a gluten-free month, which is super easy to do. Avoiding all forms of gluten for 1 month should be enough time to reset your microbiome so that if you decide to reintroduce gluten into your diet, the negative impacts of gluten on your GI system will be drastically noticeable. And if a month seems too long, then try it for just 1 week. I think you might be surprised at the results. We know that the microbiome actually changes within 72 hours, so giving it a week is more than likely enough time to figure out these changes, If you are suffering from gut health related issues, upset stomach, indigestion, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, then there is no doubt about it that gluten is not good for you. When you are already suffering from gut health related issues, consuming gluten can trigger immune response that lead to inflammation, which can damage the lining of the small intestine and cause other symptoms. You may have taken a test that says you have no allergies to gluten. Yeah, mine said the same thing. You may have read an article that says gluten is safe for most people. Yep, I read those too, but trust me, just the fact that you found this video, whether you search for it or the algorithm suggested it to you, avoiding gluten at all costs will drastically improve your gut health. The structure of the gluten protein that makes it sticky helps foods like breads, pizza, cake, cookies bind together. However, due to its protein structure, gluten is not fully digestible for all humans. The undigestibility of gluten triggers an immune response that damages the lining of the GI tract. The microbiome is a complex system with too many factors to blame one thing, but gluten intolerance is a great place to start. 3 tips for going gluten-free. Number 1, save money and be healthy by cooking at home. This is considered a win-win. Number 2, plan where to eat and what you're going to get before leaving the house. Many restaurants offer gluten-free menus, even if you don't see it right away. Tip number 3, we like to follow the 5-ingredient rule. As a general rule, we search for labels with 5 ingredients or less. We also look for labels that contain ingredients we can pronounce and know what they are. Gluten-free does not automatically mean healthy. Making the switch to gluten-free foods only does not mean you're automatically eating healthier. Gluten-free foods often contain more sugars and fillers to make up for the lack of gluten. This only increases the importance of reading and understanding nutritional labels. If you're curious in learning more about what to avoid in your journey to a healthier gut, you may want to try an elimination diet, which can help you identify foods causing gut distress. If you made it all the way to the end and you liked what you heard about in this video, go ahead and like and subscribe and check out our next video on elimination diets. I'll see you there. That seemed kind of fast, but let's see how this goes. Oh yeah, so great combo with a family member about what was it like on this journey to identifying all the mistakes that I made with my gut, identifying how to tell that it was my gut that was impacted, because a lot of the symptoms are maybe not initially shown as gut related symptoms because of just the vast areas that your gut health impacts, right? So for example, skin, we can go over kind of itchy skin, rashes, and you might think, and allergies, we can think seasonal allergies, and we go, okay, let's just take some Claritin, let's just get some cortisone, some anti-inflammatory kind of cream that we can put on ourselves because of these rashes that we have. But what we're not doing is addressing the root of the problem, the core of the problem, which often is gut health, because again, just gut health is so vast in its areas of impact on our health. That's why it's the most important kind of health. So I had a great conversation with a family member about my journey, and I thought it would be helpful to share with you all my journey and the mistakes that I made before realizing that my gut was the problem. So this segment is greatest gut health mistakes. Do not ignore these symptoms. Also, we're going to discuss when is it time to get help, because that's another thing that I ignored, which we're going to go over right now. Gut health is the most important health because of how massive its impact on overall health. When our gut is compromised, it affects all parts of our body from head to toe. So it can be quite easy to confuse GI problems with other health issues. That's exactly what happened to me. I was so focused on treating the symptoms of gut distress, such as skin issues and allergies, that it was a long time, a few years in fact, before I realized my gut was actually the problem. And by that time, it was too late. I was nauseous almost all the time, and I had to use the restroom instantly after eating. I also thought it was a stomach bug for about a week, because after about a week, I would feel better, so I'd take a few days off of work, and then I'd come back to work for like 3 weeks at a time, and then I'd have to take another few days off just because I thought the stomach bug came back. And I can remember this cycle happening over and over and over again. I was willing to look past clear signs of gut distress for a few reasons. At the time, I was helping my family deal with other health issues that seemed way more important than mine. So I tried my best to suppress the pain and ignore the signs. I can remember we were all in DC visiting the African American Museum. I was so plagued by my stomach that I couldn't even make it out of the hotel for the second days of tours. And that's when I decided to make a doctor's appointment. I continued to feel crappy throughout the trip, but as soon as we got to the airport, I felt better. So what did I do? I canceled my doctor's appointment. I played it off as a stomach bug, but deep down I knew it was a significant problem. From the signs of internal bleeding to not being able to sleep through the night. These are clear signs that my gut was going through some major problems. But instead, I kind of kept doing this cycle of feeling better, then feeling horrible, then feeling better, then feeling... It was probably 4 months or so before I decided to actually go to the doctor and not ignore these signs anymore. So it's important to not be like me, to not ignore these very important gut health signs. You should never ignore internal bleeding, signs of internal bleeding, frequent bloating, frequent stomach discomfort, unhealthy stool habits. Go ahead and check out the Bristol stool chart if you're concerned and you want to know what that signs are. Low energy and brain fog, never feeling rested. This was a common thing that I was trying to push through just because of who I am, until a coworker was like, we need to get you some help because you don't look so good, buddy. So that was like a wake-up call that other people are now witnessing everything that I'm feeling. It's showing on the outside. Sudden weight loss or weight gain. I've never been a very big person, but around this time I was very skinny and unhealthily skinny. So you want to pay attention to, in regards to that, you want to pay attention to what are you eating? Are you eating a low inflammatory diet? Are you eating a probiotic rich diet? Are you eating prebiotics? If the answer is no to all of those and you have all these symptoms, you probably are not doing the right things to take care of your gut. If you're eating a bunch of processed foods, if you don't know what's in your food, alcohol, if you need a lot of caffeine to get through the day and caffeine is actually impacting your health, your gut in a negative way, it's probably a sign that the caffeine is not doing what you need it to do for you. These are all signs that your gut is severely impacted and you need to go get help. Speaking of food and gut health, I also wanted to pay attention to my skin because the skin is home to millions of microbes that make up the microbiome ecosystem. Our skin will be able to give us early warning signs about our gut health. It is no surprise that psoriasis is an autoimmune disorder that appears on the skin, or that people who suffer from rashes and eczema often suffer from poor gut health. I've been spending way more time outside in the cold, dry air and often in the sun as well. While I try my best to wear sunscreen every day, I've noticed a few changes in my diet that help immediately change my skin health. Foods for skin health. The foods you eat can play a significant role in promoting healthy skin. Here are some foods that can benefit your skin health. Fatty fish. Fatty fish such as salmon and mackerel and sardines are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which can help reduce inflammation and keep your skin moisturized. My girlfriend and I try to do a great job of eating fatty fish, of eating salmon 2 to 3 times a week. She's much more of a trooper than I am. She eats the salmon much more willingly than I do. I'm not the biggest fish eating fan. So as a supplement, I take fish oil supplements. Okay. So avocado. Avocado is a good source of healthy fats, antioxidants, and vitamin C and E, which can help to protect your skin from damage caused by UV rays and pollutants. Avocados is another thing that I'm not the biggest fan of, but I will have avocado toast. I'll do some guacamole for the benefits of skin health. Nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds such as almonds, walnuts, and sunflower seeds are rich in vitamins and minerals that can help to maintain healthy skin. For example, almonds are a good source of vitamin E, which can help to protect your skin from sun damage. I do not eat nuts or seeds due to my ulcerative colitis. I'm not able to digest them, so there could be some issues as far as the nutrients that I'm lacking because I do not eat a lot of nuts and seeds. Although I guess I could do chia seeds and flax seeds, which is a good point. Luckily, I'm here with you all, and we're going over it together because now I know what I can add into my oatmeal, perhaps. Fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are packed with vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that can help keep your skin healthy. For example, carrots are a good source of beta carotene, which can help to protect your skin from UV damage. I freaking love carrots, so there's no problem there for me. I do eat them often. So sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are a good source of beta carotene, just like carrots, which can be converted into the body into vitamin A. Vitamin A is essential for healthy skin and can help improve skin hydration and reduce dryness. Oatmeal. Oatmeal is a good source of complex carbohydrates, which can help regulate blood sugar levels and reduce inflammation. Oatmeal can also help soothe and moisture dry, itchy skin. In addition to eating a healthy diet, it is also important to stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water and limit your intake of alcohol and sugary drinks. Getting enough sleep and managing stress can help to promote healthy skin. So if you like this video, we have other videos just like it, including our one on 5 foods to help benefit your gut health. So first, like and subscribe, and then I'll see you on our 5 foods to benefit gut health video. To try to treat shin splints, you can try the following steps. Icing with your feet up. Rest in ice. Reduce pain and swelling by resting the affected leg and applying ice to the shin every 2 hours for 15 to 20 minutes at a time. Stretching and foam rolling. Gentle stretching of the calf muscle and performing exercises to strengthen the muscle in front of the shins can help alleviate symptoms of shin splints. Shoes with insoles. Over-the-counter arch supporters or custom-made orthotics can help distribute the weight on your feet more evenly and reduce the stress on your shins. Anti-inflammatory medications. Taking over-the-counter anti-inflammatory medications such as ibuprofen can help reduce pain and swelling. Gradual return to activity. Gradually increase the intensity and duration of physical activity to allow the shins to adapt and recover. If symptoms persist or worsen, seek advice from your doctor or physical therapist. They may recommend further treatments such as physical therapy, cortisone injections, or other imaging to rule out causes of other pain. So what causes shin splints? Shin splints is a common condition that refers to lower leg pain, specifically along the shin bone. It is usually caused by overuse, repetitive impact on hard surface, or suddenly increasing in physical activity. Other factors that contribute to the development of shin splints include muscle imbalances, flat feet, or biomechanical problems such as excessive pronation, inadequate stretching and warming up before physical activity, and wearing poorly fitting and worn out shoes can also contribute to the development of shin splints. So how often should you get new shoes to try to treat shin splints? So new shoes are my top way to help treat shin splints, along with being cautious of what type of surface you're on. I have a short about it as well, where like concrete is the worst and probably the most frequently used, especially for distance running. A track surface is going to be excellent for shin splints just because there's a little bit more give on the track than on the concrete. And grass is probably the best tool to avoid shin splints. As much training as you can do on the grass while you are suffering or recovering from shin splints is going to be one of the best options. Along with sand. Sand is a great option as well, just because it's super low impact on your joints. We're not always in control of the surface that we're on, especially when you're just going out for a jog, you're in the inner city or whatever it may be. So getting new shoes that are properly fitted and specialized towards your events, towards your goals, that's going to be one of the best ways to avoid shin splints. So the frequency with which you need to replace your shoes depends on several factors, including type of activity. So if you're a runner or participate in high impact sports, you'll likely need to replace your shoes more often than someone who walks or does low impact activities. Frequency of use. The more you use your shoes, the more wear and tear they'll experience, which can shorten their lifespan. Quality of the shoes. High quality shoes that are well made and designed for your specific activity will typically last longer than cheaper, lower quality shoes. If you notice that certain parts of your shoes are wearing out more quickly than others, it may be time to replace them. In general, it is recommended to replace your running shoes every 300 to 500 miles or every 6 to 8 months, whichever comes first. For other types of physical activity or footwear, it's a good idea to replace them when they start to feel worn out, don't fit properly, or don't provide adequate support. A physical therapist or podiatrist can provide some specific recommendations based on your individual needs and activities. Now we're going to move into my Brooks shoe review. After all my years of running, Brooks made the best cross-training shoe that I've ever worn. Shin and Achilles pain, see ya. Hello joint stability. I was hooked. So I ran in my new Brooks Launch 9s for a long time. I beat them into the ground as I do all of my running shoes because I am a runner and jumper. And after a while, I mean, you know what time it is. It's time to go get new shoes. So this is a different style shoe than the Brooks Launch. This one has a little bit more support. The Launches were great for, typical training on the track or warm up, because for what I wanted to do, I basically warm up I use them as training flats, so to do some kind of speed training. And then whenever I get deeper into my speed training, I wear spikes anyway. So, but this time I went for a shoe that would be much better on like concrete, much more supportive, because I was doing a lot less spike training, a lot less speed training, a lot more just kind of jogging and things of that nature. They have this guide rail system, this GTS guide rail that helps keep everything aligned. But the other ones did too. They had GTS as well. So I love this system. Keeps your feet and ankles aligned, your knees, hips, your back, so that you have less injury with the provided support. A part of knowing what to look for in a new shoe is knowing how your body moves. One reason why I love a particular store that I go to is they have you walk or jog on the treadmill and record you in slow motion. This way you can identify exactly what is happening with your feet. You know, I knew already that my feet were pronated, meaning that my foot falls in when it strikes the ground. So I wanted to combat that with arch support. And the Brooks Adrenaline had a lot of excellent reviews, and I found out that that was for a great reason. You know, I'm putting more miles on the road than I ever have been. And normally I'm straight to business with a warm up, then straight into sprinting. But when I decided to change from those sprint style workouts to more jogging, the more time I spent on concrete, the more time I think I needed that, you know, the more I needed that support. It was time to think out of the box and get the Brooks Adrenaline 22 GTS. And I could not be happier that I did. As long as, you know, Brooks makes these shoes, I will not go back into any other training shoes, you know, of course, unless I get sponsorship and we get some free shoes. So anyone who's interested, go ahead and slide and hit me up about that. But so, you know, that was one of the main things about staying healthy is having the right type of shoes when you're a runner. It's essential. It's a must have. So, you know, if you enjoyed this video, we have other training videos just like it, videos that are going to help you improve your overall health, which running, walking, jogging is definitely going to do. So if you stayed all the way to the end, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. That was awesome. Dope. We got through it. We banged through this show. I love it. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting me. I'll see you on the next show. So peace. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the Rode podcast mic.